Hello friends, welcome to another Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations video. In this video, we will be talking about discrete manufacturing in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. This will be a long video. Watch it until the end with patience. We will be covering entire manufacturing process end to end. In today's video, we will be talking about discrete manufacturing process, where we will cover a few points like main accounts related to manufacturing and posting type validations on those main accounts, item groups and posting profiles as far as manufacturing processes are concerned, uh, production control parameters. Then we will create a few calculation groups, then cost groups. We will also be creating a few items related to raw materials and packing materials, which will be further consumed in our manufacturing items. We will create SFG and FG items. On item master, we will talk about significance of production types. We'll create one costing version. We'll set up item purchase prices, item cost prices in standard costing version. At the same time, we will set up uh, direct manufacturing cost and indirect manufacturing cost in D365. We'll create cost categories, route groups. We'll talk about resource groups and resources. We'll create a few operations for manufacturing of FG and SFGs. We'll create bill of material on both items SFG and FG. We'll create routes for both the items. We'll calculate the item prices for SFG and FG using BOM calculations. Then we will go through the production order life cycles, like creating production orders, estimating, scheduling, releasing the production order on floor, starting the production order, then consuming the material against the production order, posting the route card, time punching, good quantity reporting, then doing the report as finished, and finally completing the production order, that is ending the production order. Okay, so this is the agenda of today's video. For this video, I have created a few new item groups. We already have GTRM item group, which is meant for raw material items. Then I have created one more item group called GT This is for packing material. Then I have created another item group for GTSFG. So within this item group, we will create a semi-finished item, and there is finally item group for finished goods. Okay, so against all these item groups, we have to configure the posting profile. Okay, and for those, I have created a few more main accounts, like WIP account for packing material inventory account, SFG inventory account, FG inventory account. Let us go through one of the account here. Let us filter the item groups which I have created. So GTPM, GTRM, GTSFG, and GTFG. And for all these item groups, we have to configure the posting profile. So I have already created all these main accounts. I have also created a main account for direct machine cost recovery, which is for loading direct machine cost on production orders. At the same time, I have created another account for indirect overhead recovery account. Okay, yeah. So now if we see the production, in this estimated cost of materials consumed, okay, this posting profile is credited. This posting type is credited when we consume or post the picking list, okay, against the production order. Okay, so the material gets credited, so the inventory is removed and it is transferred to WIP account. So this account gets credit and this accounts get debit. So when we consume the material, our raw materials or packing material gets removed from the inventory, and the WIP gets increased. Okay, so if you see in estimated cost of material consumed, uh, I have configured RM, PM, and SFG, and these are all inventory accounts related to a particular item group. Okay, so here uh, I have not configured inventory account for GT underscore FG, because we will not be consuming finished goods materials in further production. So that's why I have not added that here. In WIP, if we see, for each item group, I have configured the WIP account. Again, here I have not configured GT underscore FG, because that will not be consumed in further manufacturing process. Okay, then estimated manufactured. So when we take output against the production order, okay, this accounts, the account which is configured against this particular posting profile gets a debit. Okay, so if you see, I have configured the inventory account for GT underscore FG and GT underscore SFG. Okay, so you may think that why I have not linked accounts here for RM and PM, because we will not be manufacturing raw materials and packing materials. Those are my bought out items. Okay, so this accounts get debit, and the WIP is reduced. Okay, so when we consume the material, WIP is getting increased. When we take the output against the production order, the WIP gets credited. Okay, so if you see, I have configured the WIP account here uh, for both FG and SFG. Okay, now cost of material consumed. So these are all the estimated accounts which are posted at the time of posting the physical transactions, like a picking list, route card, and report as finished. Now, actual financial inventory gets accounted at the time of ending the production order. So at that point in time, this posting type gets credit, and this posting type gets debit, which is my WIP. So if you see, I have configured RM, SFG, and PM, all the three item groups. I have configured the WIP account. Here I have configured the inventory account for each item group, which is getting further consumed, which is getting consumed in further manufacturing process. Okay, same manufactured cost for FG and SFG. I have configured the inventory account. This will get a debit when we end the production order, and this will get a debit as credit when we end the production order. Okay, now here I have forgot to add one more account. Let us do that. Group GT underscore SFG, because we are manufacturing our SFG. Okay, if you see here, I have for both, so I should have WIP account for both the item groups here also. Now, because we will be consuming the raw material and packing material, which are our procurement item. Okay, so for RM, as you know, in all our previous video, we have used this item group and this inventory account. So all the purchase related postings are already set up in system. Okay, but for packing material, I have configured the inventory account here. Purchase expenditure invoice, I have used the same account which we use for RM. Cost of purchase materials invoice, this is getting debit at the time of invoicing of the purchase order. So there also I have configured the inventory account for packing materials. Purchase expenditure for product, I have used the same account which we configured for raw materials. For purchase accrual, let me check if I have done that or not. Yeah, so this is a separate account, but I have forgot to configure this account here. So group GT, I will say PM, and this is the account. Okay, so at the time of GRN, this account will get credit. So this is as far as this inventory setup is considered. Okay, now there are a few more accounts for finished goods. So because we will be ultimately selling out the finished goods, okay. So we have to configure the sales account also for FG. Okay, so in sales order, I have configured for FG. This is my cost of goods sold at the time of, sorry, cost of goods delivered, cost of units delivered when this accounts get credit at the time of packing slip. This is my deferred COGS account which I have configured here for FG, which is named as FG deferred COGS. Cost of units invoice. This is triggered credited at the time of invoicing of the sales order. Okay, so this here I have a FG inventory account. Cost of goods sold, I have created a new cost of goods sold account. Okay, and revenue, I have a new revenue account. Okay, now I want to show you which posting types I have configured on the WIP account. So if you see, I have a WIP account here, and on this account I have provided a few posting type validations here. So if you see, this account will only be triggered from this particular posting types. So one is estimated cost of indirect cost consumed when indirect overheads are loaded on production order. Cost of indirect cost consumed when production order is ended and actual financial indirect cost gets absorbed on production order. Estimated manufactured cost. So when we take the output, this WI account will be debited, uh, sorry, credited. This is cost of materials consumed, so this will get credit at the time of ending the production order, and this will be debited. Manufacture cost WIP, then estimated cost of material consumed WIP. So similarly, I have configured the posting type validations for all the accounts, and why I do this is because I want to make sure that the same accounts is not accidentally configured in another type of posting profile. So I want to make sure that the account is configured where it is meant for. Okay. So this is related to item groups and posting profile of uh, items. Then there are a few production control parameters which we have to configure, like packing slip in ledger and post report as finished in ledger. So say for example, production control parameters. So if you see post picking list in ledger and post report as finished in ledger, these two parameters I have configured here. This is to make sure that when I post the picking list on production orders, the corresponding accounting entries are posted into the general ledger module. And the second checkbox is for uh, making sure when we do the report as finished or take the output against the production order. Okay, this account, the corresponding accounting entries gets posted into the general ledger module as per configured posting profile. Okay, yeah, then let's create a few calculation groups. Now what is calculation group is, uh, say when I am calculating the prices for my manufactured items, okay, in a standard costing version, okay, uh, there I have to provide a few policies, like from where the prices related to procured items will be taken. Okay, what policies we want to enforce, like for procured item there must be a cost price defined in the system. Okay, for manufactured items there should be a BOM, there should be a route. Okay, then let's go to the calculation groups form. So if you see here, I have created two calculation groups. Okay, so one is for bought out items or procured items. Okay, and second one is for manufactured items. Okay, so for bought out items, I'm defining the cost price strategy as the first cost price model is item cost price. Okay, then if item cost price is not found in a costing version, okay, then the fallback pricing model is inventory price. So it will take whatever running average cost available in system, that cost system will take and use for price calculation purpose. Okay, for sales price calculation purpose, system should take the uh, cost group related profit settings. Okay, then I have here configured warnings. So when I'm calculating the prices for say my finished goods or semi-finished goods, and for manufacturing of those items, we are consuming some procured items. So if the item which is in BOM is not having any price, the price is neither in the cost price or active cost costing version, or there is no item price also. Okay, then system will give a warning saying that the prices might be inaccurate due to missing prices for some of the items, procured items. Okay, and here we are also enforcing the strategy like the item price should not be older than 180 days. So this is what you should do. Then here we have a stop explosion. Okay, so if you want to treat some of the manufactured item also from the price calculation perspective as a procured item, okay, and you don't want to explode the BOM of that item, then you should check this stop explosion checkbox and assign this a calculation group on your items which you want to treat like this. Okay, second one is manufactured items. So here we are saying first is my active price in a costing version, second one is my inventory price. Okay, sales price for sales price calculation system will use the profit settings defined at cost group level. Okay, now here we are saying that if there is no BOM for a manufactured item, then system should throw a warning. If there is no route, active route, approved and active route on a manufactured item, then system should throw a warning. If there are no resources, there is no consumption, and there is no cost price, okay, then system should throw the warning. Now we will define this calculation group on release products. Okay, so whichever are my procured items like raw materials and packing materials, I will link with bought out items calculation group, and which are my manufactured items, I will use this GTMFG calculation groups. So that we will see when we create the items in system. Okay, now let us see what is next in our agenda. Okay, so we have created calculation groups. Okay, now for same purpose, like in manufacturing module, we want to group the similar cost like direct material cost, direct manufacturing cost, there might be indirect overhead cost. So we want to group that. Okay, now in this video we will be also going through the costing sheet configuration in system. Okay, so there we will see, okay, how using this cost group we can define our cost sheet, which will show us the breakup of what is the portion of raw materials which is required for this particular item manufacturing, what is the portion of packing material, okay, and what is the direct manufacturing cost and indirect manufacturing cost. Okay, so for that we have to create some of the cost groups in system. Okay, so now we'll see cost groups. Okay, so here if you see, I have a few cost group. One is for GTRM. So when we create the cost group, okay, we have to define the cost group ID, the description for the cost group ID, cost group type. Now this is very important. Okay, on release item master in engineer fast tab, you will be able to select this cost group only if the cost group type is direct material. Okay, so in case of materials, the grouping of similar material will happen based on item master. On item master, we are defining the cost group of type direct materials. So on my item master, it will show only GTRM, GTPM, GTFG, and GTSFG because all these are direct materials. Okay. Now material cost is a variable cost. So here we have defined behavior as a variable cost because but this will not be having any costing impact or financial impact on even if we select any of the values. Okay, then we are setting like when we calculate the prices, what profit setting we want to do. So on account of raw material, if we select the standard profit setting, then 5% we have to add while calculating the sales price. But if we are calculating the prices using profit one, then 10% we want to add on top of that. Okay, and from here you can check what related items are there. Okay, so if you see GTRM cost group is configured on all the items which are listed here. Okay, so it is RM 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Similarly, we have a cost grouping for packing materials. So on all the packing material items, I will define this GTPM as a cost group. Okay, this is again a variable cost, and again a profit setting is like 5% as a standard, and profit one is 10%. Okay, then we have for SFG. So for all the SFG items, okay, I will use this particular item group. Okay, here I am not setting the profit setting because while calculating the SFG already the margins are added because it is coming from GTRM and PM. Similarly, I have a cost group for direct materials for finished goods. Here also I don't have any profit setting. This is again a variable cost. Okay, so this is related to direct material cost. Now in manufacturing there is another cost, direct manufacturing cost or machine cost, or we can say route cost. Okay, so that I have created as GTM1. So from machine 1, whatever cost I am incurring, okay, I will capture here. Okay, and this particular cost group will be linked on cost categories. Okay, so that we will see later. Here also I am saying whatever cost I have defined at 5% as my margin while calculating prices at standard profit setting, as profit 1 add 10%. Okay, for machine 2 I have GTM2, For yeah, this is for M3. This is for packing processes. Okay. Then I have created one more GTICOC. This is indirect conversion cost. Okay, so here I am saying this is type of indirect, and this cost group will appear only in our costing versions when we are adding indirect cost. Okay, so that we will see later when we are configuring the costing set. Okay, here also we are adding 5% and 10% as standard profit margin and profit one margin. Okay. So these are all cost group which we have created in system. Okay, so next step is we will be creating a few items. I have already created in system. So I have created two raw materials, one packing material, one semi-finished goods, and a finished good. Okay, so let's see the release products form. Okay, so here I will add, or let's open one item. So I have created GT4 and 5 for this particular demonstration. I have created packing material 1, semi-finished 1, and finished goods 1. So I'm going to GTRM05. Okay, so I have defined the bought out calculation group here, cost group as GTRM, item group as GTRM. Okay, a very important thing is this production type. Okay, so there is a significance of this because in this video we are talking about discrete manufacturing, and right now we are looking at a procured item. Okay, so the procured item should be defined as production type none. Okay, once we define the production type as none, we will not be able to define the BOM for this particular item. If we define it as a BOM, then I will be able to define BOM versions. But if I am defining this as a say formula, then it will be used in process manufacturing, and in that case I have to define the formula. So where is the formula? Just a second. Yeah, formula versions. Okay, we'll see this planning item, formula, co-product, byproduct we will be covering in our process manufacturing video. But right now we will be using only none for all our procured items and BOM for all our manufactured items, because we want to have a BOM for those items. Okay, so this is for RM05. So similar setup is done for RM04 also. Okay, now let's go to packing material 01. So here I am seeing for this item the production type is none. Okay, I'll be using calculation group as GTBO. My cost group is packing material. My item group is packing material. Okay, and this is the setup of packing material. Let's go into SFG. This production type is BOM. Calculation group is GTMFG. So while calculating the prices, system will throw warnings. If there is no active BOM, there is no route, there is no resources. Okay, in that case, system will throw errors. Item group is GTHFG and cost group is SFG. FG. Production type is BOM. Calculation group is MFG. Okay. Item group is FG. Cost group is GTFG. Okay. Let's move ahead then. We have already configured the production control parameters. For manufacturing, the calendar is very important, but this calendar we will discuss in uh, when we will create resources. Okay. Now in system, all the direct materials. Okay. On release products, we are defining the cost group for grouping the similar kind of items into a cost grouping. Okay, but for direct manufacturing cost and indirect manufacturing cost, okay, in system we have a concept of cost categories. Okay, so on those cost categories, we will be assigning the per hour running cost of the machine, and on that particular machine or resource group, we will assign this category. Okay, so let's go into cost categories in system. So if you see, I have created three cost categories. Okay, because we will be using three machines here. While manufacturing SFG, we will be using machine 1 and 2 for performing two operations. So I want to group those costs in separate item groups. So whatever cost is coming from machine 1, I want to group it as machine 1 cost. Whatever cost is coming from uh, machine 2, I want to group it as a machine 2 cost. And there is a third process on FG where we will be consuming our semi-finished goods manufactured in level 1. Okay, and additionally we will consume the packing material and will perform the packing process. So for packing process, there is a machine in system, so whatever cost will come from that machine, okay, we'll group it as GTPM M3 in our cost sheet. Okay, then there is one more category. This is meant for indirect cost, indirect absorption cost. So indirect overhead costs. So here we are not defining any cost group. Okay, because in this case the cost groupings will happen from the cost sheet itself, costing sheet itself. Okay. So in cost categories also, we can configure the GL posting accounts. Okay, so this is the recovery account which I have created here. This is the recovery account. Yeah, sorry. Here we can configure the GL accounts, but I am configuring this account on a resource group. Okay, not on resource cost categories, but depending on the requirement and for more granular financial tracking by cost categories, you can configure your recovery accounts and WIP accounts here. Okay, so right now I have configured it on resource group. Okay, so this is related to cost categories. Okay. Now, for manufacturing, there are three things. Like one, we are inputting the material, so direct material cost. For that, um, we have created items. So which is one kind of resource which is consumed in my production process. Okay. Second one is the machine running cost. Okay. So we have to define all the machines where any production related operations are happening. Okay, and when we configure the route, there we will configure either resource group or resource. Okay, for capacity planning and capacity planning and costing perspective. Okay, so right now I have created here two resource group. Resource groups are created for grouping similar kind of resources, okay, which are in close proximity within the same premises. Okay, so here right now we are doing everything in only one site. So I have created two resource groups here. One is for machines, second one is for packing machines. Okay, in machines I will be creating two resources, machine 1 and machine 2. Okay, and in GT packing I will be creating one machine that is for packing material. Okay, so let's go to the resource group. Yeah, so this is GTM MCH. So if you see here we have a site selection also. Now if I remove this site, okay, site is mandatory. So as I said, uh, resource groups are created for grouping the similar type of machines in close proximity, which are in close proximity, okay, within the same premises or same site. Okay. Now here you can also configure your default production unit. What is your input warehouse on the resource group itself, so that when you create the resource within this resource group, okay, the input warehouse, input location, these things will be automatically applied to the resources also. But right now in this case we are creating those things on resources. Okay, then we have another okay, let's discuss a few more things here. So here we can uh, configure our categories which we created in previous tab. Okay, so here at cost group level, we are not currently configuring the cost categories, runtime category, quantity category, or setup category. Those are configured at resource level. Okay, now here we are configuring the default calendar for all the resources which are within this resource group. Okay, so this calendar is very important. Based on this, system calculates resource availability. If say you have a machine which works 8 hours a day, okay, and 5 days a week, so you should create a separate calendar for that, working calendar for that, and for those resources or resource group you have to configure that calendar, so that system can accordingly calculate the capacity planning and determine the resource availability. Okay, now if you see on resource group, we have this resources within this resource group. If we go to the resources master, we will see which resource group it belongs to. Okay, now here, because whatever cost will be posted through the machine, okay, is my direct manufacturing cost. Okay, so for this I have configured a few accounts called direct machine cost recovery account 4500008 that I have put here. Okay, this will get credit when we post the route card, and this is the WIP account. Okay, similarly we have done for packing material. Okay, so let's talk more about this calendar. So right now there is only one calendar. Okay, where the working calendar is like this. So this resource works 24 by 7. Okay, but you can compose other kind of working times also from this button. You can say from this date to this date I want to create the calendar, and here you can define your working time template also. So here in working time template you can say Monday from what time to what time my resource will be working, on Tuesday from what time to what time, Sunday whether it is closed for pickup, means we have a off. Okay, and on Sunday and Saturday how it will happen, and on other days during what time frame the resource will operate. So right now this is for 24 hours. Okay, now we will create resources. Okay, so as I talked earlier, we will be creating three resources. Okay, one is machine one. Okay, which belongs to, which is type machine. So we can create multiple type of resources like machine, human resource, vendor, tool, location. If your manufacturing process is happening at say vendor location, then you can create vendor type of resource also. Okay, you can create a tool type of resource, location resource, facility kind of resource, and human resource type of resource. So right now let's talk about other resources. So this is machine one. So here I have configured the runtime category as RCMCH01. Okay, then quantity category is quantity category. So right now we are not discussing about other fields here. Okay, then I configured the calendar which is applicable for this particular resource. We can define the resource capabilities also, and based on capabilities master planning engine can recommend the proper resource while running the master planning, to which resource group this belongs. Okay, and the accounts. Similarly for second, so here I will remove, because we are doing this, we are capturing this on resource group. If we go to resource group, okay, we have defined the accounts. The same thing we have done for packing materials. For GT packing resource group, let's see if we have defined the accounts or not. Yeah, correct. The rest of the things we are not worried right now. Okay, now let's configure the costing sheet. So I want the costing sheet to be configured like this. I want to have one total, then the breakup into two things. One is the raw material, second one is packing material. Okay, then direct conversion cost, which is my direct manufacturing cost, M1. So whatever cost is coming from machine 1, I want to group like this, machine 2, and last one is machine 3, which is my packing material. And there are a few indirect overheads which we want to load. Okay, this will be like machine depreciation we will load based on output which we are taking against the production order, and we will also have a surcharge which will be in proportion to the input material. Okay, so let's go into system costing sheet. So right now we don't have any costing sheet here. Okay, so this is a root. We can have two sub nodes into the root. One is cost of goods manufactured and second one is cost of goods purchase. So if you want to configure the cost sheet for many bought out items or procured items also, then you can do that also. But right now it's not part of this video. So let's create a main node. We'll say here cost of goods manufactured. Okay, and I am saying I want header and total here. So this is my root node. Within this, I will have direct material cost. If you see, I have these things. I will say total direct material cost. Okay, so here I will only say I want a total. Within this, I want two breakups, raw materials and packing material. So on this node, I will create cost group kind of linkage and I will say raw materials. Okay, now if you remember, we are grouping all the raw material items as a cost group GTRM01. Let's go to the cost group one. Yeah, these are the cost groups. So GTRM is my RM cost group. Okay, so this cost group I will select here so that when my costs are calculated, system will group all the cost associated with this and group that. So whichever items are consumed in production will be considered for price calculation and will be grouped in this particular category. Then I'll create another one cost group. Okay, here I will say packing materials. Okay, so this root node one is direct manufacturing cost is done, first part. So this part is configured. Now direct conversion cost. We'll go to the root node and I will say create one more. I will say cost group. Sorry, this will be total. I only want total here. This is my direct manufacturing cost. Now within this I will create sub nodes for cost group and I will say M1 cost. Here I will select this GTM1 cost group. Similarly, we'll create another one. Now I will select this as M2. Create another one, cost group, COCM3. Okay, and here we will configure the cost group which is created for machine 3. So this is also done. Now last but not least is indirect conversion cost. Okay, I will say this as direct conversion cost, or I can name it like this. Okay, now indirect conversion cost. Here we'll create one called cost group. We'll say indirect conversion cost, and this is our indirect conversion cost. Now here I will group my indirect conversion cost group. Okay, so within this we'll create output unit based, which is machine depreciation. Okay, this is based on quantity. Because this is output unit based, if I have a production order of 50 quantity, okay, and I am defining say load one buck on each quantity. So in that case we don't have any absorption basis here. We don't need that because quantity is the absorption basis. Okay, now here we have to configure the ledger postings. So as I said, for our indirect conversion cost or indirect overheads, okay, whatever cost breakup we are creating here, okay, there we have to define the GL account. So here if we go to the GL creation, I have indirect overhead recovery account also. So I will put both this here. Then this second one is my WIP account. This will be WIP account. Okay, so when I take a report as finished, RAP against the production order, okay, depending on how much quantity we are taking output of and per unit cost defined in rate section, okay, system will credit this account and debit this account. So simply it will credit the recovery account and debit the WIP. The cost will get added into WIP. I hope that's clear. Okay, then we should define the rates here. Now we can define the rates from two places. One is directly from the cost sheet or another is from costing version. Okay, so we will be defining the cost from the cost sheet. Costing versions. So we are not defining it right now here. Okay, second one is my material overhead. So here I am creating surcharge. So material overhead is a surcharge. Okay, now here system is asking us this surcharge, on which cost we have to calculate this surcharge. So right now I want to calculate this surcharge on the raw material portion only. Okay, so I want to calculate it on this particular groupings. Okay, so here I will select that particular group, COC raw materials. If I want to calculate on all the material cost, then I can select this direct material cost also here. Okay, and this is my, I think this will not have any differences on, and here I will say per item basis. So yeah, so here we have to configure the GL accounts also. Let's take this account. This is my WIP account. Now let's check what is the error. Okay, yeah, I have to provide the surcharge. That's okay. We'll do that. Okay, so here we'll create one more costing sheet, costing version. Instead of adding it into the same, I will have my own standard costing version. So I have created a new costing version, standard costing version, GTSTD. Okay, so from here, from standard costing version, I can define the item prices in this particular costing version. So new, I want to define the prices for GT04 and 05 for GTNY site. Price I want to define is $1K. For second item, GTRM05, GTNY 1500 is the price. And for packing material, I want to define the price as $750 per unit. So right now these are procured items, so I am taking it from here itself, and I am activating all the prices. Activate pending prices. Okay, so my item price in the standard costing versions are activated. Similarly, I can go into cost category price. Here I can say for this GT M1 for GT NY site, I want to load 500 rupees per hour. Okay, so let's populate the data somewhere. So in cost category, I will say per hour cost. This is 500, this will be 400, and this can be 300. Okay, then for another machine, what's happening? This is 400. Then RC, this is for packing, and that is 300. This is per hour cost. Okay, so this cost I have to activate one by one. This is active now. Now similarly, we can define indirect costs. Okay, so now so this cost sheet we will save. Say for this particular site, for indirect costs, I will load say for FG I will load the overhead material as, say, I want this as 10%, and this is for the specific item group. Or I can say all the items which belongs to that particular GTRM cost group. Okay. So here we'll say for this costing version, now we can close the costing sheet, we'll come back later. Now let's show costing versions. So here I have my costing version. So if you see, we have defined item prices, cost category prices, everything in system. Now we'll define indirect cost price. If you see that 10% is already coming here, this is for that surcharge. Okay. Now here itself, I will say depreciation cost for this particular site. Okay, we have not defined per item basis. That's the issue. Costing sheet. Okay. So if you select this on this, then only it will allow us cost item wise rate setup. Means item wise output unit based rate setup or item group wise setup. Okay. So now let's go into the costing versions. Talking about depreciation, so I'm removing this depreciation right now. Selecting it again. Now I can select the item group, whatever it may be, but here I will say for SFG, when they are manufactured in GTNY site, per piece 50, okay, then machine depreciation group, when we are manufacturing GTFG in GTNY site, load 40 rupees per piece. For this overhead, let's delete that. New group, when we are manufacturing SFG in GTNY site, load 10% of the raw material cost and overhead. I will define this as, in surcharge for SFG I have said 10%. Okay, here I will say 5%. When this item is manufactured in this particular site, then 5%. Okay, and let's activate this everything. I think everything will not be activated at once, but we can do it one by one. Okay, so here machine depreciation is 40/50. Machine depreciation is 40/50. For SFG it is 50. This is 40. This is per piece. Percentage RM. Okay, so 5 is for FG, 10 is for SFG, 50 is for SFG, 40 is for, yeah, that's correct. Now let's go into costing sheet again. You see the rates are defined here and they are activated. This overhead also. You see both are activated. Done. So let's validate this. Costing sheet is okay. Let's go back to costing sheet. Okay. Now next step is to create a BOM and route. Okay. So for semi-finished goods, I have created a BOM where RM04, RM05 is consumed or required in proportion of 2 is to 1. RM5 is 3 is to 1. PM01 is 1 to 1 relationship. Okay, so let's see this end system. Engineer. This BOM version button is only active because we have a production type BOM for this particular item. We are going into BOM version. Okay, so if you see here, you can see RM04, RM05 and 01. We have not provided the warehouse. It will take from the resource. Okay, 2, 3, 1 for each quantity of SFG. Okay, now this BOM is already activated. You can approve and activate from here. Right now it is already approved, and you can activate from here. Right now it is showing as deactivate. Similarly, not similarly, but we have to create a route. So on this SFG, I have assigned two operations. One is operation 1 and operation 2. Okay, so for that we have created three operations in operation master. Two we will be using on SFG, and packing will be used on FG. So if we go to this master, so these are the three operations which we have created, and this is a very simple, like it's only ID and name kind of thing. Okay, so here first route operation number 10 is GTOPR1. This can be welding, okay, cutting, knitting, okay, this can be heating. Okay, so I have defined this as a generic one right now, operation 1, operation 2, but this can be any operation which you are popping on your items. Okay, for one quantity of SFG we need 10 minutes. Why 10 minutes? Because in times we have defined hours time as 0.0167. If this is 1, then this 10 means 10 hours, but in times we have defined this factor 1 by 60. Okay, that's why whatever we have entered here is in minutes. Okay, we have selected the route group and all other stuffs. In general, you can see operation is selected, operation priority is selected. Okay, then this route type is standard right now, but if this is a vendor operations, you are doing the subcontracting, okay, and your vendor is performing, then this can be type of vendor also. In setup, we are configuring the runtime category. So right now this is coming from my resource, but at when we create a route version for a particular item, okay, there we can link the different runtime category, because on runtime category we are defining the per hour machine running cost. Okay, now on the same machine, if I am producing X item and then the runtime is different, okay, means cost is different. If I am manufacturing it on item Y, then per hour running cost is different. Then in that case, I will be using the same resource, okay, but two different runtime categories. I have defined the quantity category as quantity cat. Times, for one quantity, we will need 10 minutes. Why? Because this factor is 0.0167 or 1 by 60. Then resource requirement. So in resource requirement, right now I have defined it as resource, okay, because we are not discussing the capacity planning right now as part of this video, okay. For simplicity purpose, I have defined direct resource, okay. Otherwise, I can put any resource group so that the system, while running the master planning module, will recommend any available resource within that resource group. Okay, then here we will be using the job scheduling because we are into discrete manufacturing. You can put some description here, remarks here. Okay, then for second operation is operation one for one quantity. We will be needing 5 minutes because this factor is 0.0167. We have configured this category. Okay, as I said, for a second machine, okay, I will take this as MCH02. Then resource requirement is my machine 02 in job scheduling. And the route type is standard because this is we are not talking about subcontracting right now. Okay, now same thing I have done for FG, but for FG I am consuming the level 1 item, that is SFG01, okay, and packing material 01 also. Okay, so SFG1 is required in 1:2 proportion, and a packing material is 1:3 proportion. Okay, yeah. So let's see the bomb. So there are two items SFG1. We need two quantity for one quantity of FG, three quantity of packing material for one quantity of FG manufacturing, and we are using the resource consumption here. Done. Let's see route. So on route we have only one operation, that is packing. We need 15 minutes for each FG processing. Means for packing one quantity of FG we will need 15 minutes, and this is in minutes because this factor is provided. Resources are packing machine. Okay, so now we have already defined the prices for both raw materials and packing materials, as well as my per hour machine running cost, and costing versions, and indirect cost also, surcharges also. Now let's run the price for this finished goods and semi-finished goods. We will go into costing versions. In standard costing version, we go to item prices. I will say calculate item cost. For which site I want to calculate the prices, the calculation date, using which process I want to calculate the prices. Right now I'm using manufacturing. If any prices are existing for the set of items, then we will override them. Then we'll run this for the two items, GT, SFG first. price is not calculated. Let me see what has happened. GTNY. So right now the prices are not getting calculated from the costing versions, but we will do this from the release products from in this case. So for this semi-finished item, we'll go engineer BOM versions, and here in BOM versions we'll click calculation. I want to calculate the prices using production order in standard costing version. Okay, then the calculation date is today's date. So it has automatically taken the BOM and route from the item master. Okay, now let's run the prices. Okay, so this gives me the cost price. The calculated cost price is 7416.90 for each quantity, and the sales price as 7787.75. Okay, now let's see the breakup of this cost working. So by highlighting this line, go to view calculation details. So here if you see from BOM, I need two quantity for this SFG. If let's go into the Excel sheet. So here let us work out the prices also. Okay, so for this item, for manufacturing of one SFG, we need 2 RM04. Okay, so 2 quantity divided by this per series into where is the cost price defined for RM04. So we have active price of 1000. So 2000 of this. Similarly, this is required in proportion of 3:1 into the cost price is 1500. Okay, then packing material 750. Okay, so the total material cost is this is on RM part. Okay, and this is from packing material. So the total is 7250. So if you see 2000, 4500, 750. This is the material part. Now if you see the costing sheet, it will show me raw material as 76500, 6500, packing material is 750, 750. Okay, and direct material cost total is 7250. This is 7250. So this is how costing sheet is working in Excel. Okay, now let's see how the route cost are considered. Okay, so for first operation, we need 10 minutes for one quantity into this many hours. Okay, into what is my per hour running cost. So let me see where I have defined the per hour running cost. Where are resources? Yeah, so machine 1 is 500. It is 83.33. If you want to see, this is my machine 01. Okay, so this is due to rounding, but it is exactly 83.33 because this form is showing to second decimal point, and this is not accurate, but in backend they are stored up to uh, more precision level, at more precision level. Okay, yeah, machine 02 cost. Let's calculate how that is done. 33.33. So this is second one. Machine depreciation. Okay, so what we said for machine depreciation, we can see the surcharge is not coming here. Output unit base is coming, but surcharge has not come here. Why? We can see there is a log here. Let's see what's the log. So right now here, the surcharge is not getting calculated. So we have to figure it out why surcharge is not getting calculated. Okay, so in calculation details, as we can see, the cost price is more or less calculated accurately. Okay, so this is 33.40, 83.50. That is exactly matching with our working. Okay, so this is direct manufacturing. So here sum is, sorry. Okay, now in indirect case we have two part. One is depreciation. Okay, machine depreciation. So for depreciation, we are saying that per unit for SFG we are loading 50 rupees. Okay, so we are calculating the cost price for one quantity right now. So it is upfront 50. For another cost is, which is just a second, why it's not coming here. Yeah, so for that we have to see why it is not getting calculated. Okay. So if you see the cost breakdown in system and costing sheet, so my direct manufacturing cost is 116.90. 116.67. This is a rounding error. 50 is my indirect conversion cost. Okay? Indirect conversion cost, which is coming on account of depreciation. Okay. Now we'll come back here. Right now I'm removing both the prices from here. Let's verify why surcharge is not getting calculated. So this is coming. This is perfect. I think is it due to this? I think this should be total. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we'll go into release product again. SFG, engineer, bomb versions, calculation. We'll say let's calculate price for GT standard costing version. Calculation date is today, production order. Okay, whatever standard is coming, let it be. Yep. So now if you see the cost is on higher side now. Item, sorry, view calculation details. Okay, so the overhead is also coming right now. So it is 650 per unit. Okay, so if you remember what we said for overheads is 10% of the RM cost. Okay, so RM cost total is 6500. So this portion automatically becomes 10% of this RM cost into 10%. Okay, so now if we see the total here is 700, material cost is 7250, direct manufacturing 116.67, indirect cost is 700, which is coming to 8066.66. Okay, 8066 point somewhere. Okay, so this is how price is calculated for my SFG item. Now we'll activate these things. Now what we did for sales price is calculated as 8470. Okay, now because it has calculated 5% of this, so if we see the total of this item, just a second, let me modify this price as this plus this plus this. So this is my price for this particular item. Okay, now 5% of this, and if we sum this up, it is 8470. This is 8470. So when we calculate the item cost, okay, system gives us the profit setting. Okay, so we can set this as profit 1. Yeah, we'll see into this later on. but right now it has calculated by taking the standard profit setting, which is at 5%. So here sales price is not relevant for me right now, but this is related. So I will activate this price. I will activate this price. Okay. So this is as far as my SFG is concerned. Now let's calculate the price for FG1. So what is my landed cost for FG and at what cost we can sell it? Engineer, active BOM version or BOM versions, calculation. I will say select standard production. My route is not active. Let me see. This is not activated, I believe. Oh, this is not approved. Activate. Now let's calculate the price. Calculation. Standard. Using production. Let's calculate this. Okay. So now this is showing me as 18,498 as my landed cost for FG. Okay. So now let's see what is the cost breakdown. So SFG is 8066.90. We'll calculate similar cost here. So here into what is the price of SFG, this. What is the price of PM1? It is 750. Okay. Then what's the total? $18,383.33, 18,383 point. What has happened? Sorry, 2250, 16133. Okay. Then we have a machine cost, means hour cost. Okay. So here we need 15 minutes for one quantity, into this many hours. This many hours we need, right? Now we'll multiply by the running cost of the machine, 300. That is 75. So if you see, this is coming as 75.15. This is due to rounding, I believe. Yeah. Okay, machine depreciation. So depreciation, this is direct manufacturing, right? Then depreciation. depreciation we define as 40 per unit. Okay, so this is simply 40 into 1. That's it. That's it. Okay. Correct. Now in this case also, if you see, the surcharge is not getting calculated. Why? Because in FG we are not consuming any raw material. So raw material part is 0, and if that is 0, then definitely if we apply any percentage to that, then it will be 0. Okay. So here my overhead will be 0. Is 0, correct? Okay. So now my material total cost is this 18498 18498, and that is perfectly correct. And sales price is, say we'll add whatever cost we are calculating, we'll add 5% of material input which are consumed in excess. Okay, so for sales price, so for this item the cost price is this plus this plus this plus this. Okay, now for sales, whatever margin we are adding here, because whatever raw material we are consuming at SFG level, already 403 margin is already added there. Okay, now here we will only add 5% of this packing material. Okay, and my cost will become 18,610. This is 18,610, somewhere around. You have to add 5% of that also. This one. Okay, we'll add 5% of that also. This plus this plus this into 5%. I think now it should be fine. 18,616.58. Okay. The difference is due to rounding. So now I am activating both the sales and prices for this particular item. So here our first part of the video ends. Now we'll jump into the manufacturing life cycle for discrete manufacturing. Okay. So for that, what we will do, we will create one production order for GT underscore SFG Okay, we'll create production order for 50 quantity. We will create this 50, so we need this as 100. Okay, so we'll do this for 200. Okay, now for this 200 procure manufacturing, how much quantity we will need, that we want to calculate so that we can purchase that much of material. So material required, or what we can do, we can simply jump into system. Okay, create the production order and see what is the requirement. Okay, so we'll go into production control module now. Production control, all production orders. So I'm creating a new production order here because we are into discrete manufacturing. New production order we are creating, not new batch order. Okay, so here I am saying GT SFG. We are not doing any explosion or any sales order booking, anything. Okay, we are not discussing the master planning right now. I want to manufacture this into GT NY site, into GT NY warehouse. This is standard production order. I will need because I want to manufacture 50 quantity of FG. Okay, and hence I will need 100 quantity of SFG. Okay, so let us do this as 200. Okay, now this is some sort of customization. I will create a pool. But this is not the standard behavior of the system. Production pool. I'm creating the production order. Okay, so the order is created for 200 quantity. I'm hiding all the fields which are not relevant right now. Okay, we'll go to production order. We'll estimate this. Okay, but before estimate, when we create the production order, the status of the production order is created. Okay, and when we create the production order, system copies the master BOM for the item, the active means selected BOM and route version on the production order creation form on the production order. So if you see, this is what the BOM is right now. Okay, so now the next step is we'll update the status of the production order to estimate. So what estimation does, estimations will calculate the estimated cost price for this particular production order. Okay, and when we do the actual consumption against the production order, it will show the estimations versus actual. Okay, so the estimation will happen as per standard, means this active BOM and route, whichever is copied on production order. So this is the route. Now, if you want to modify this production order specific BOM and route, then you can do that by going into that form and adding or editing the existing lines. Okay, let's estimate this. So we are estimating with standard profit margin. Okay, profit setting is standard here right now, and running the estimation process. Okay, now if we go to manage cost, view calculation details, then you can see that what is the requirement for this particular production order. Okay, so if you see, this is overview of estimation. Okay, so this is my cost price calculated from the costing version. Okay, and this is same which we calculated right now, because we have no transaction, we have not done any transaction so far. Overview of costing. So this is estimated quantity. So I will need 400 quantity of RM04. $400. 600 of RM05 and 200 for this particular item. Okay, apart from that, we will need this many hours of machine 1, 33 hours. Okay, then we will need 16.70 hours from machine 2. Okay, and others are the running cost. Costing sheet view, you can see. You can see the total also. Lot size, min, my production order quantity. Okay. So now this is production order number. I am calculating the requirement for other production order also. So I will create a new production order for FG. Okay. So this I will be doing for 50. Okay, so I will need 100 quantity of SFG, and 100 SFG will remain in stock. Then I will create a few more production orders. So this will copy the BOM of FG. So you can edit this also here. You can add new line items also, and a route also. Okay, so this can also be edited. Now let's estimate this. The status is updated as estimated. Both the orders are estimated right now. Okay. Then we'll go to production managed cost and view calculation details. And here we can see what is the estimation. So SFG I will need 100, PM1 I will need 150 more. Okay, SFG, FG. So I'll need 150 more here. So total requirement is this. Now let's quickly create a purchase order in system and purchase these items. So I will add some of the margins here. I will add 100 more quantity here. Similarly, I will buy 100 more here and 100 more. Yeah. We have to create a purchase order. We'll create a new production order, purchase order here. By the time this gets created, this will mislead actually. Okay, so here we'll quickly add those 3 line items. I have activated the grid feature. But it's taking a lot of time to validate. Okay, for RM04 we need 500 quantity, or I can take everything together. Yes. For this it has not taken the price. Why? It should take actually 750. Okay, I'm confirming the purchase order quickly. I've cancelled the activation. What I'm doing is I'm not purchasing at these prices. This is 1100. This is 1700. This is 850. So just to differentiate between estimated and actual cost. So the PO is confirmed. Let's do the GRN. We know the accounting impact and everything for GRN and purchase invoices. Yeah, so we see that today. So let's post the GRN. EC T. So we'll select the date entry lines here. So the GRN is posted. We'll quickly do the invoicing. So INB 998. I'll be recording the invoice in today's days. Just post it. So 500, 700 and 450 quantity we are buying. So let's start populating 500, 700, 450, 700, 450, and the unit price is 1100, 1700, 850, 1100, 1700, 850, तो after the invoice is posted. So now we have stock, we can process the production orders now. So let's go to production control, all production orders, and SFG production order. So we have purchased these two items, three items, 500 quantity, 700 and 450. 500, 700, 450, and price was 1100, 1700, 850. The same thing will go into ledger also. We'll put the physical date as today's date, physical date and financial date. Because both invoicing and both are done today. Same thing will happen for this. So we have purchased this on 28/11/2021. $500, 1100. Zero 05, P.O. number is same, date is same. How much quantity we are buying? 700, 1700. Sorry. So for this, the cost will come from wrong. Yeah. So for item 1, the amount will come from here. For this, the amount will come from here. The formula should be changed here. 4. This is okay. This is also okay. Formula needs to be changed here. So the cost amount for this will come from here. Okay, we'll keep on adding the transactions as and when it happens. Okay, now we'll schedule this production order. Because we are using the job scheduling, so we'll do the job schedule job. We'll say forward from today. This should not give any error due to the capacity. Yeah, so the production order is scheduled now. Okay. Next, once the production order is scheduled, we will release the production order on flow. So when we create the production order, the status is created. Okay, then we estimate the production, then we schedule the production order, so the status changes to scheduled. Now we'll release the production order on 4. At this point in time, we can use all this document if needed, for which operations you want to release the production order and how much quantity you want to release, that you can mention here, but right now we are releasing it fully. Okay, so the production order is released on floor, and this is the route card document. So if you see operation number 10 primary, this is the operation name. Okay, what is the resource requirement? Okay, then how many hours are required? Okay, similarly for operation number 2, and this is the start date, means today it is starting at 12 a.m. Okay, and on 29th at 9:24 a.m. this will complete. On 29th, this will start at 9:24, and on 30th of November at by 2:06 a.m. this will complete. Okay, so it will take almost more than 24 hours, 49 hours. Okay, so this is a route card. This can be printed and circulated on floor. Let's cancel this. This is production number. Okay, this is the item which we are manufacturing. Okay, and this is the operation number we will be doing for 20 quantity. Okay, and process time is 13.40. Machine 1 is the requirement. On this date, this time it will start, and on this date and this time this will it will end operation number 10. Second operation immediately can be started on 29th of November on this particular time, and at this time this operation will end. Okay, let's close this. We'll have one more. This is job card. Okay, so operation number, this is the quantity, and this is the process time. Similarly, but this is operation number 2. It's for operation 1. Yeah. So the order status is released now. Now finally, when the manufacturing starts on the floor, okay, we have to start the production order. We can partially start the production order. We can mention when the order was started actually. Okay, and for which operations the production order is starting. So right now we are starting the production order for all the operations. Okay. Okay. If you see, the production order is started now. Once the production orders is started, we can punch in the material consumption and route card consumption and output against that particular production order. So we'll go to view picking list. So system has automatically create the picking list based on BOM. We go into lines. Okay, so here if you see, the requirement is 400 quantity of RM04, 5 is 600, and this is 200. So now here we can edit it. So say here instead of 400 I consume 410. This is 620, and this is say 190. I consume like this. Okay, now the warehouse is not right now automatically populated from the resources. Might be I forgot to configure that, but I'm populating it here. Okay, and we'll post this material consumption. So against this production order, we are consuming the material. Okay, so how much quantity we consume for RM04? That is 410 minus 410. At what cost we consume the material? Is this cost? Control Z. This is production order. Issue status is deducted right now. Currently it is deducted because we have only posted the picking list. On which date? 28/11/2021. Financial date is yet to come. Okay, there is no adjustment as well right now. So for item 2, we have consumed 620 quantity. At what cost? Reference is production order. Deducted right now. Physical date is 28. For packing material, minus 190. Price is this. Okay, so material is consumed against the production order. And let's see what is there in the inventory ledger. Let's populate the inventory ledger also. So against the production order 1, production order date is today's date. We have consumed minus 410. This into this running cost is intact. For second item, $620. For packing material, So this is the ledger which is getting populated. Now let us see what is the accounting entry. So we consume the material. Okay. So here we will say picking list. Okay. Estimated cost of materials consumed. This should be the posting type. Should say WIP. Okay, so now this account should be credited by, this is raw material inventory. Now we consume two raw material items. So for one first item, this is the cost. For second item, this is the cost. Okay, similarly, this is raw material code. This will be taken from my packing material item. Okay, so for packing material item, inventory GL is this. That will be taken from here, and description is from here. So this will also get a credit on account of the third item. So third item is my PM item, and WIP will be debited by this much amount. Let us see what is the accounting entry. So to check the accounting entry, what we will do, we will go into manage cost and production posting. Okay, from here, if you see 16,66,500. Okay, so this is the entry for on behalf of material consumption. Okay, so let's see the voucher. If you see estimated cost of material consumed, this is raw material 15,05,000. Okay, 16,15,00. Okay, then this amount is going into WIP. Now at this same time we are posting the surcharge also. Okay, so what surcharge, how surcharge is getting posted is, this is part of same GL. Okay, now surcharge is it is how we are loading surcharges. Let us see the setup. So we are saying 10% of my raw material we are adding as a surcharge. Okay, so my raw material cost is 15,05,000. So this estimated indirect cost absorbed will get a credit of 10% of this amount. That is 150,500. 150,500. Okay, and on the other side, WIP account will get a debit of this much amount. Okay, so should be WIP. Okay. So this both vouchers are posted at the same time because this is calculated as part of my raw material consumption. Okay. So this entry is posted. So at the end of this entry, we have a WIP. Okay. So this is the accounting entry related to my picking list. Now, if we go to the production posting, second is related to my indirect cost as a surcharge. Okay, and you can see the indirect cost transaction also. Indirect cost transaction is a surcharge. Okay, this is also a surcharge. And this is coming from through different raw materials. If you see, it is maintaining by raw materials. Okay, now let's move ahead. Now, if I want to see the WIP report in system, how it will look like, but we are right now not looking into report. Okay, we can generate the WIP report from using inventory value report. Okay, but right now we are not going into that. Now let's post the route card. We have a route card which is prepared by system. It is saying we have to consume this much on. I will only change the date. I will take tomorrow's date and here 30th of November. I will not be changing any quantity here, or let me put something like here I'm consuming say 35 and here 70 hours. Okay, let's post this. What is the error? There is some error. Operation number 10, what it is saying. On both, it is saying the accounts are not defined. Let's get into this resource. I believe it might be due to this, but let's check. This is my direct cost. This is my WIP account. Let's see now whether this is fixing the issue or not. Let's see. Saying same thing. Is it due to cost category? Yep, I think so. Let's do that also. Might be due to this only. Let's remove this quantity category. Let's do the posting now. Oh my god. Okay, I'm trying to post the route card again. Let's see whether it posts this time or not. Yeah. So route card is posted now. Okay. So now let's verify the accounting entry for this also. So what should happen for this is production order. At the time of route card, what will happen? Estimated direct and the GL account will be taken from here. Okay, voucher will be route card. This is also part of V1. This I can say V2. Okay, now here we have consumed 35 hours. Okay, and my running cost is 400, I believe. Yeah. So this will get credit by 35 into 400. Yeah, for machine it is 500. Okay, for second 17 plus 17 into second machine 400, 24,300. So if we verify the accounting voucher for this, and it cost production posting. So I have a route consumption 17,500. I believe it is this. Okay, and when we do the plus of this, it is 24,300. Okay, yeah, 6,800. Okay, now if we see the voucher for this, it is 17,500. Let us take like this itself. It is going into my estimated manufacturing cost absorbed posting type. So I have mentioned the posting type here incorrectly. Okay, so this is voucher number 2. Voucher number 3 is for the other resource. This one. So this is how it gets into system. Voucher 6800 credit into direct machine cost recovery, and WIP is debit by 6800. Okay, so this is at the time of route card, but at the time of route card, okay, system has posted the report as finish also. So if you go to production posting, it has posted 200 quantity of output, because for second operation number 20, we have marked that as end, and we told that the production order is getting completed. Okay, so now for this 200 quantity, report as finish is happening. Okay, so this is voucher number 4. Okay, now for this estimated manufacturing, it will go into my SFG WIP account. Not WIP, it's SFG inventory account. Okay, and how this cost will be determined? Like this will get debit. So it is getting debit by whatever price we have activated against this item into 200. Oh, that's for actually, sorry. Right now, because this is what we have activated against this SFG item. Okay, 16 13 333. Okay, that difference is due to rounding. Okay, but for this consideration, we will take this cost amount. Okay, so SFG is getting debited and WIP is getting credited by that much value. Estimated manufactured cost. Correct. Estimated manufactured cost WIP. And this is my WIP account. So the inventory is WIP is getting reduced and my semi-finished goods is getting increased. Same time, because we are posting the output unit based cost also. Okay, so system is posting estimated indirect cost absorbed. If we see the cost sheet here, in cost sheet we are saying for depreciation, machine depreciation, okay, we have to load 50 rupees per quantity for SFG items. So we have a production order of 200 quantity. So WIP is getting debited by 50 into 200. Okay. So this is my indirect cost GL, this GL account. And this will be my WIP account. This is happening during the same process, and voucher is same. Is this the voucher number different? This is 2046. This is 204. Yeah, correct. 10,000 is posted as my overhead. Okay. So what is my manufacturing cost per unit here is this divided by 200. 8066.90 right now, because that's the only active cost and system at this particular point in time. Okay. Now because all the consumption and everything is completed for this production order, now we will update the production order status as report as finished. Okay, so what we are indicating here is, okay, we have consumed the material, we have posted all the hours and good quantity on the route card, we have taken all the outputs against this production order, and we are updating the status of production order to report as finished so that the costing guy can end the production order. Okay, after ending the production order, we will not be able to do any activity on the production order. Okay, so right now, if we see the WIP account, okay, so here we are getting okay how to populate the ledger for this SFG1. So I'm getting 200 quantity. Price is right now whatever active price we have set up in system for that particular item. This is references production order. Physical date is 30 1120. Okay, so far there are no financial dates on this production order transaction. Okay, let me populate the ledger also for SFG. So this is production order. Two hundred quantity is coming in, and the amount will come from ledger. I have to give the price here. Okay, so now we'll update the production order status as report as finished. We have to check here where if the report as finished quantity is not mentioned here. Otherwise, system will post report as finished for that additional quantity if you have a short production order. So in that case, you have to remove this and you have to mark the accept error. Okay, here. Let's post this. So the status is updated to report as finished. Okay, now let's end this production order and then we will conclude our video because it's took almost 3 hours now. So we are ending the production order right now, but before doing that, let's see what is my WIP status here. Okay, so WIP is like whatever is coming in. Let me check. This is WIP plus WIP debit plus WIP debit plus WIP debit minus credit minus credit. So if you see, the WIP is still there and it is 217,920. Now let us see how it looks in the report. So let us go to inventory value report storage. Here we'll create a new report. I will create a new ID. Okay. I say I want to see only the totals or the closing balance, including indirect cost, labor, direct sourcing, everything. I want to see the WIP only, not inventory. Site I want to see, resource ID and resource group I want to see in the report. I want to summarize the value. Let's run this report as on 30th November. This will not make any difference because we are checking only as on closing date on this. Okay, filter. Let's remove this. Say GT and Y. For this site only I want to run the report. Let's run this. Now you'll ask me, we have consumed all the material, we have posted all the route card, surcharge, everything, but still there is a WIP balance. Okay, so this is a very routine case in day 365. Okay, so the WIP gets nullified only when we end the production order. Okay, otherwise in most of the cases it will carry some um, balance in WIP on account of the particular production order. Okay, so to avoid this scenario, we have to always make sure that we end the production order regularly. Okay, so here is our report. Let's view detail. Okay, so if you see PM01 190 quantity is still in WIP. This RM04410 quantity which we consume, that is in WIP. RM05620 quantity which we consume is in WIP. 200 quantity which we took output is in WIP. Okay, so now if we take this into action, so my Excel is here on the screen. So this is on account of material. The WIP is 53,120. Now I think this is not a complete picture. Let's go into system now and let's execute the report again without any filter. And this will take a lot of time, but we don't have any other option because I want material overheads also as part of the report. Okay, so I'm removing the site filter, I'm running the report again. Let's see how much time this takes. So we have a report ready. Let's open the report. Okay, this everything is related to RWIP. Okay, then these four lines are also related to our WIP. I'm doing wrong thing, my friend. So I have to only mark rows. Okay, so one Excel is my overheads and second one is for material. Let us combine both of them together. Okay, and let's see what is the WIP amount. So it is 237,920. And what we worked out in Excel, 237,920, 237,920. Uh, am I missing something? Yes, I think so. If I check this, yeah, but that's the WIP. Let's see if I have done it correctly or not. Okay, let us see one by one. 17,500, 17500. Where is it? 17500. 6,800, 6,800, 10,000, 10,000, 150,500, 161,500. Okay, so more than 3 hours now. So let's conclude this video here. In next part, we will see what happens when we end the production order. Then we will process the production order for FG items. We will sell it out. Okay, so in this video, we have gone through many production related business processes, like we we created some item groups and their posting profiles from FG and semi-finished goods. We created bill of materials, we created routes, operations, resources, resource group, cost groups, calculation groups. Based on all this, we created a costing sheet, we created costing version. In costing versions, we activated the prices for materials, for machine hour rate, for surcharge rate, for output unit based cost. And based on this, we calculated the BOM prices for the item, and we cross verified with our Excel workings manually. And it was exactly matching with our manual working. Okay, then we went through the production order life cycle. So we created a production order, then we estimated the production order, then we scheduled the production order, then we released the production order on floor, And at the time of releasing the production order, we printed a few documents. Then we started the production order. When the actual production starts on floor, then we consume the material against the production order. Okay. Then we posted the route card. Then we did the report as finished. We verified the accounting entry for each and every transactions. Now last but not the least is in managed costing. If we see the view calculation details, overview costing, here you can see estimated quantity was 400, but we consumed 410, so the cost is getting increased. The estimation was 600, we consume 620. Estimation of 200, we consume 190, less consumption. Instead of 33.40 hours, we consume 35 hours. Instead of 16.7, we consume 17. Okay, and for the surcharge and output unit based, the cost was loaded accordingly. Okay, and let's see the costing sheet version also. So here we are seeing lot size 200. So this should be my cost of goods manufacturing. Okay, so that's it for today's video. If this video helped you, then please subscribe the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. Also click the bell notification icon so that whenever I upload a new video, you get the notification. Okay, and keep watching. Thank you.